So let's look at some definitions right before we go into the full discussion. So potential, having or showing the capacity to become or develop into something in the future. And then in slang terms, having potential means having the necessary abilities or qualities to become successful or useful in the future. That's not actually slang. And then counterfeit, made in exact imitation of something valuable or important with the intention to deceive or fraud or defraud. Imitate fraudulently, forge, replicate, imitate, fake, copy. Copy is the thing that I notice that is very interesting. I usually use the word mimic, and I think about people who try to get to somewhere fast in life. They tend to be sort of mimics. They don't want to actually be original and do something that's going to have a much more long game strategy. They want something right now. So then, when you think about it in terms of the counterfeit, the person who looks like potential, you think about it in terms of the person showing you or exhibiting to you that they can be the partner uh, that you want. So they're going to mimic everything you say. They're going to copy everything you say. They don't have anything original about themselves. They have no character, integrity, moral. They're just basically figuring out what you like, and then they're going to acquiesce and position themselves emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, um, and financially to meet what you desire. And then you look at that situation as a man and you say, okay, she's the right woman for me. She loves me because no woman has ever done that for me. She loves me, and I know uh, we're going to take over the world, right? Because I got her by my side, but she's a copy. And she's actually a copy of something that is much more valuable. She's a counterfeit. And it looks like she has the potential to become what it is that you are hoping that she's going to become. But she doesn't really have the capacity. Because as soon as you throw a problem at her, she doesn't know how to resolve it. As soon as you throw an idea at her, she turns it off. Why don't we just live this good life? Well, to live the good life, you're gonna have to work. You you both don't you both haven't come into money, so that means you're gonna have to work to where you want to get to. It's like the person who has a husband, the woman has a husband, he has a restaurant, and I think I've heard this before, but many years ago. And every time he brings in money into the restaurant, she takes a little bit out of the cash register. The problem is she doesn't understand the income statement, the cash flow statement, all of the different financial statements. The money that she sees in the cash register is not profit. It's a new restaurant. It's not profit. It's it may be break even or very close to it, but it's not profit yet. But she wants it. She wants the immediate gratification being able to go into the cash register and getting a few $100s and going to go shop. And so the real person that the man should have married would have been the person who was much more patient and long suffering in terms of waiting until they got to a break even and very close to profit. The real person would have understand the business aspect of business. The real person would have understand that we need to um, continue to invest a little longer, and then we'll get to where we want to get to. But what happens is with men, they tend to invest more in the women who don't do anything for them, who take more than they give, and the men place more value on the sex and the looks and whether or not the woman is going to submit, and they don't look at the value of the long term support and love. And when he gets sick, she's going to be there. If you remember the Tyler Perry film Diary of a Mad Black Woman, the main character wife, she was there with her husband from the beginning, helping him, loving him, supporting him, helping him with the business, things like that. But when he got up and he got more money, he exchanged her for someone who looks like an image he wants to convey to the business world, to the legal world. And when he ended up getting shot and then going into the hospital, going into the coma, it was that woman who wanted to unplug, the life support. And then when that didn't happen, because the wife had rights and a say about that, um, she cleaned him out. She cleaned him out. She cleaned out the bank accounts. She cleaned out the house. She took everything, and so he had nothing. She took the child, all of that, and so he ended up having nothing. And it was the wife, the long-term partner that he mistreated and emotionally abused, who ended up having to help him. And that's the real person, and that's the person that men tend to uh, shuck and jive and pimp and mistreat and be hostile towards and withhold sex and withhold love, because they don't want the satisfaction. They don't want to give the satisfaction of the real person the right to receive those things, right? um, I've heard some people say that men tend to equate the woman who helped them along the way, helped them to get to where they got to, with poverty and struggle. And so that when they come out of poverty and struggle and they're now like a big man to the world, they want to get some woman who looks like not poverty and struggle, someone who looks like success. But that's potential because the person has not even achieved success, not by a long shot. They are such a counterfeit to the point that they're not even a true counterfeit in some ways, because at least at least the real person is based upon a work ethic. The counterfeit is not even based upon a work ethic. They just stepped into an actor's or actress role to try to look like what success looks like. They put on lipstick, they put on makeup, they put on a hair, they put on a dress. They put themselves in certain environments where they know they're going to find businessmen, and now they try to look a part of success. But if you look at their life, they have no success. If all they did was move from person to person, one person probably saw them for who they were and then decided to drop them. They just keep moving from person to person. That's not success. So when you're thinking about potential versus counterfeit, the counterfeit is always going to mimic what potential looks like, but they really don't even have potential, to be honest about it. But at least if they're trying to spout potential by lying and exercising fraudulent behavior, they'll try to mimic it.